Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. As always, I'm your host, Meryl Fatemi. Getting into the last segment of our show here, we're going to talk a little bit about the New York Knicks going up against the Boston Celtics later tonight, and what will be, honestly, this will still be a great series. This will be this will be a test for both teams. It'll test the how much adversity can the Knicks how much can the Knicks take and be able to how will the Knicks respond to the Boston Celtics in this series? That's how it's going to come down to. How are they going to defend Jayson Tatum? How is Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby going to defend Jayson Tatum and Jalen Brown? How is Mikal Bridges going to be able to carry? Is he going to have to carry the offense? Will Karl-Anthony Towns step up to the plate? Will Mikal Bridges step up as an offensive player? Will Josh Hart continue to play as a utility guy? One of those guys you pull out of the toolbox, plug him into the starting lineup. Will he be able to play for this New York Knicks team? How will Jalen Brunson's ankle be an issue for this New York Knicks squad? There are a lot of question marks, and I'll try to tackle some of them, but a lot of these are going to have to be in-game play. A lot of these will be answered after game one, and a lot of these I'll probably have a better answer for you tomorrow when we recap this game. This is going to be a phenomenal series. This is going to be a series between talent versus grit versus grind. A young group that's been together, a young core group with the Boston Celtics who's been together for the last 7-8 years. A group in New York that's been together for the last 3 to 4 years, that has continued to grow with one another, continued with Tom Thibodeau at the helm, who's been there for the last 4 years or so, since 2021. I believe it was 2021 when they hired Thibodeau. Yeah, I'd say if I'm gonna, how do I answer this? Don't crucify me in the comments. First and foremost, do not kill me in the comments, please. But I have to roll with the Boston Celtics in this one. I think a lot of people would side with it. I'd say Celtics win this series in 5 games. But if we're going to talk about keys to the game, Jalen Brunson's ankle is going to be an issue in this one. I don't think they're going to target it like the Houston Rockets targeted Steph Curry on the pick and roll, but I think with Jrue Holiday's defense, Jrue Holiday is going to be matched up on Brunson. I have no doubt in my mind about that. How is Porziņģis and Karl-Anthony Towns matchup going to be in the low post? That's going to be interesting to see. I think Porzingis' offense is going to be better than Cat's. I think Cat's offense is going to be better than Porzingis' defense. So it's going to be a war in the low post. I think that's probably going to be the most intriguing matchup in there. If we're on paper, X factors of this one for the Celtics, definitely going to be the play of Derek White down the stretch. Going to be the play of Jaylen Brown. He has had some knee injections, so it's going to be interesting to see how that knee responds. But the Celtics team has had a lot of time off. Another thing, Jayson Tatum's wrist. Is that going to play a role in this series? Are the Knicks gonna target his wrist because it's his shooting wrist? Are they gonna target it like the Rockets targeted Steph Curry's wrist hand in a similar way? I could see that. Not saying it's going to be dirty, but it's the NBA playoffs. You're just trying to get an edge on the other guy, not trying to hurt him, but just trying to make him uncomfortable. Try and hit that wrist. I believe it was Jay Williams that brought up this point on ESPN. When you're shooting the ball, you can always shoot the ball, and it's always a foul if you clap hands with the defender after the shot goes up, or if you hit the hand of the shooter with the ball still in his hand. But there is no rule that after the ball releases, after a couple seconds, if you hit his hand, there's no rule that is a foul. I probably described that really wrong, really badly, but stay with me. That is what the Houston Rockets were doing to Steph Curry. Pick and rolls, hitting that hand. Defensive plays, hitting that hand. Even honestly, even when Steph Curry's trying to get a reach in, trying to steal the ball, trying to reach in to steal the ball from the offensive player, that was probably incredibly uncomfortable for Steph Curry. There are little things that teams do against you that you wouldn't really call dirty, but you could absolutely call them strategic. They're just it's a competitive game, and players are going to do that. And I would not be shocked if the Knicks did that to Jayson Tatum once again. Tatum will have a brace on. He will do his best to protect that wrist, but it's the NBA. It's a high-level playoff basketball. Two teams that are going to be incredibly physical with one another. Two teams that have a long history with one another. Obviously, Porziņģis being drafted by the New York Knicks. Jayson Tatum loves playing against the Knicks because he always gives them the business, as I like to call it, but always takes it to them. Jalen Brown loves to play against them. It's going to come down to the play of Jalen Brunson. It's going to come down to the offense of the New York Knicks, how they're going to be able to keep up with the Celtics offense. It's going to be about how the Knicks are able to defend the Celtics. Are they going to take a little bit out of the Orlando Magic's playbook, be physical with them, disrupt the three-point shooting as best as possible? And how are they going to be able to shoot? Because this is going to be a shoot-off. Both of these teams, the Celtics love to shoot the three. When you play the Celtics, you have to shoot a lot of threes, or else, like I like to call it, it's a math problem. 3 is better than 2. If you're shooting 2s and the other team is shooting and making 3s, the other team's going to win. They're scoring more points at a higher level, at a more consistent, if not comparable, consistent pace to you guys. So it's going to come down to that shot making of the Knicks. Come down to the ankle injury that Jalen Brunson's dealing with right now. Come down to the interior play of Karl-Anthony Towns. If he's able to also pitch into that shooting as well, with the quote-unquote best shooting big man in basketball, with holding that title right now. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great series. I think the Celtics pull this off in 5 games on paper, 5 or 6 games max. I think Jayson Tatum and Jalen Brown are just going to be too much for the Knicks to deal with. As much as I say Jalen Brunson will have some takeover games, I probably, as a Celtics fan, I'm expecting the Jalen Brunson 40-point game. But who else is going to step up? Is Mikal Bridges going to step up? Is Karl-Anthony Towns going to step up? Is OG Anunoby going to step up? Somebody has to step up for this Knicks team to continue to help Jalen Brunson. Because this is not the Detroit Pistons. This is not... The Detroit Pistons may have had an incredible defense. And they gave you a hard time on the offensive end of the ball. But this is not the offense that the Pistons had. This is not an inconsistent offense. This is not an inexperienced offense. This is not a team that is had an 9-game home playoff game losing streak. This is an NBA team that just went to the NBA Finals last year, that has continued to hold the same group of guys with Horford, Tatum, Brown for the last 7-8 years, added Jrue Holiday 2 years ago with Porziņģis, added Derek White 3 years ago. They're continuing to grow around one another. Peyton Pritchard is a homegrown talent. Sam Hauser is homegrown talent. Joe Mazzulla is an incredible coach. How are the New York Knicks going to respond to it? How are they going to be able to keep up with the Celtics team? That is what it's going to come down to. Is Brunson's ankle going to play a role? Is Tatum's wrist going to play a role? Is Jalen Brown's knee going to play a role? Game 1 is later tonight at 7 o'clock. Hopefully some of these answers some of these questions get answered. And yeah, I'll absolutely recap game 1 of this series in tomorrow's show, because this is going to be a premier series. This is going to, as much as I say the Celtics are going to bully the Knicks in this series, they're still one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. They still hold the title. They've been consistent in the Eastern Conference for the last 4 years or so. So they deserve the respect that they have. And even though they're going up against the NBA champion Boston Celtics, they're still going to be tough to beat. So, yeah, that's just my take on it, and that'll probably be that for that one. But let me know what you guys think about everything that I've had to say, all 5 segments. I'm all ears. Let me know your takes in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions for me to answer, and I can answer any questions that you guys have at the end of the show right now, or leave them in the comments and I'll answer them in tomorrow's show. Maybe I'll base a segment around one of your questions. You guys are, like I've said, you guys are a big part of what we do here at the GSMC Sports Network, and your input is always valued, always appreciated. So, yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts, what we're doing well. Let us know what we can improve upon and beyond. Thank you for tuning into the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe and leave a review. It does make a difference more than you guys think, like I mentioned. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again for another unbelievable show. The first round of the NBA playoffs is in the books. The second round kicked off last night. 2 more series kicking off tonight between the Celtics, Knicks, Nuggets, Thunder. Both series, at least especially the Nuggets Thunder, is going to be exceptional. Both series are going to be incredible. 4 teams that are all star-studded. And I cannot wait for this because the NBA playoffs continue to gift us incredible matchup after incredible matchup. And this is going to continue with that. Thank you guys once again. This is the host of the GSMC Basketball Podcast signing off. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your days. Bye-bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to